Hey guys and girls, Luke Lorna from Shilling Entertainment. Anyway, guys, look, I thought I'd just whip up a quick video tonight, let you guys know like what I'm up to, where I'm at with things and things like that. So I'm trying to strictly focus on now, just like I said, these film projects, trying to get that stuff done. I was working pretty hard on my reel and things like that. There's a lot of moving parts with that, and it just sometimes it just tires me, it wears me out, and I do a little bit, and then I do a little bit in the day, and then I have to have a break, and then I go again, and it's just been constant like that for a while, and I don't want to put too much pressure or expectation on myself to try and get these projects out by the end of the year. I really want to, but I'm not going to push myself. I don't want to overdo it. You know what I mean? End up back I've made progress. Um, so I'm gonna keep just doing what I'm doing, chip away. I'll eventually get there. I'm making progress. It's looking good. But yeah, look, I needed to have a bit of a break the other day. It was just doing me fucking head in. Like I said, there's a lot of moving parts with it. Um, some days I just prefer to just do like simple things, simplistic things. I don't want to overdo the brain too much. So I want to play video games. Sometimes you just don't want to get involved with a heavy game. You just want to play something light and kind of, I don't know if that's just old age or whatever, but I just sometimes I just get like that. And so I'm working on the reel. That's the next project, like the next film project I'm trying to get done. And then I really want to focus on just trying to finish off this normal short film special edition that I've been working on. I really want to try and get that done because it's looking good, and I want to start doing the rounds, the festival rounds with that film. It hasn't actually had any treatment yet. It has never done the rounds. I think it's a good little unique film. I'm very proud of that film, and I don't know. I just have this feeling it'll do all right. It's very punchy. It only goes for about 4 minutes. Uh, no, hang on. Yeah, just under 5 minutes. I think it goes for, and it's very punchy. It's a nice little punchy film. Um, and I'm very proud. Like I said, I'm very proud of it. I've done a good job. It's one of those films that I'm super happy about. I've really put everything into it, and it's good. It's just like I said, it's miles better with the current updated stuff that we've done on it. But it just like I said, it solidifies me and my style now. The films that I'll be creating for the future now. It's a yeah, it's our end game vision, which is good. All the years that I've been learning and prepping and building and things like that. So yeah, so that's good. It's yeah, I'm trying to get that done. Get that done if I can. I don't know. I don't want to put pressure. Like I said, I don't want to put too much pressure on myself. If I could get it done by the end of the year, it'd be great. But we'll just see what happens. It's like I'm just focusing on the real first, and then this, and then I really wanted to dedicate next year to try and just focusing on Snap Factory stuff, related works and things like that, like the trailer and the film itself and all that type of stuff. I want to get a move on with that, so I can move on with new films. It's been I kind of had this prediction a long time ago, before, even way before I shot Snap Factory. I kind of had this feeling. I don't know. I must have either have really good fucking insight, or like I don't know. I feel like I'm a bit of a seer. Like I can see into the future a little bit, or things just seem to happen. I don't know if that's the power of the human mind or not. How yeah, anyway, I kind of had this feeling. I knew a long time ago, like a while back, that there was going to be this one particular film that would take me at least up to 15 years to make. And like I said, I wasn't actually quite sure whether or not it was going to be, I didn't think it was going to be Snap Factory. I actually thought it was going to be like The Event or something like that. But then maybe, like I said, this film was a stepping stone. It was to prepare me for the future. See, I learned a lot from this movie, and um, so, like I said, what I kind of wanted to do was, like I said, I kind of needed a bit of a break from all this shit. So I've been the last about a week now. I've been working on, I reckon. I've been working on the character. What would you call it? Like the outline for the characters, or the breakdown of the characters. Where you basically, that's how the way I'm structuring my movies and the way I'm kind of going about or doing things now. I think it starts with the character development first. So you flush out the characters, right? And I couldn't really finish because my story hasn't been written yet. So I knew with Zarian, with this particular character, I knew that I'd be playing this character. I kind of made that. I think that was around 2012. I made that decision that I would play that character, that Zarian, because everything is built or has led me up to this moment in time in my life. Zarian is basically, if I had to put it down to anything, if I had to say who he is, I basically could say, it's basically me, my life. Everything's been recorded and documented from things that have happened to me in my life. He's basically a mirror image of me, so that's how I knew it was a no-brainer for me to play the character, because I've lived it. I already know. I know this character intimately. I know this character in and out. I know his ins and outs. I know everything about him. So, like I said, that was a no-brainer. And I think that's why when I do that, it's going, like I said, it's going to be an exceptionally powerful roller coaster ride of different emotions, because I've lived it, and I want people to see it. So it's basically, like I said, I had a hard time trying to fill in the gaps or write this particular character, because, like I said, my story's not really finished yet. So I knew a bulk of it. I knew a lot of it, but I just didn't really know the ending. Now I kind of have that. I kind of feel like I know the ending, which is cool. So I'm, like I said, I'm writing. I'll look here. Hang on. Spoilers. I'm only going to show it for like a split second. I don't want people really seeing or reading it or anything like that. So, but I will show you what I've been working on. So, okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, so I'm fleshing Zarian out. I've finished Cyan's character. I'm fairly happy with hers at the moment. I'll give you an example. Oh, fuck it. I'll give you an example. I've got to fix up Braxis's character a bit yet. I'm working on Zarian at the moment, but I'll read out. Like I said, I'm fairly happy. Like I said, things have subjected to change, of course, because that's the whole. That's filmmaking for you. But I'll read this out to you. So Cyan, sex female, age, haven't put anything. Hair color blonde. Cyan is a young girl, lived on a farm similar to Zarian with her father and brother. Cyan's mother died when she was young. Her father is a hard-working farmer. Her brother is protective of her. He would look after her and do anything for his baby sister. I suppose I don't know, I've never had a sister, but I'm guessing, I'm kind of having this feeling like if the mother died, your brother would look after you and things like that, I'm guessing. They lived in an old farmhouse with fields all around, old wooden fences, mountains, blue skies, white clouds, sun rays, trees. This is what I'm currently thinking of doing. So this is the mind of a filmmaker. This is the shit that most people don't see behind the scenes. They see the finished product, or they see, the actors only know a certain portion, but they don't see any of this shit. They don't know. They don't know any of what goes on behind the scenes. So you're actually getting a glimpse into my mind of what just some of the work that I do behind the scenes that never sees the light of day. This is just strictly for me. So I just want you all to know this, that this film is heavily based around. In a second. So it's got heavy themes of childhood trauma in the Middle Ages. I only just recently figured that out because of the shit that I've gone through, and I wanted to talk a lot about it in this in particular movie about different things, the pain and tragedy and trauma that people experience. These particular people, these characters, in medieval times, they, we get treated like fucking cotton wool. We're like wrapped up in cotton wool in 2025. It's not really a lot of pain or tragedy or trauma. There is, but people try their very level best to avoid it and not go down that path, and that's a good thing. But I know it still happens and shit, but the ideal life. But yeah, like I said, it does happen. So Cyan has had and has experienced tragedy in her life, which she was able to grow from and become stronger by it. There's two ways you can go down. You can either let it define who you are, or you can be destroyed by it. Cyan, despite the struggle she faced growing up, has come to the realization that violence and vengeance serves nothing and no one. You can say she's more advanced than Zariam. So I have to start off with these character development. So once I flush the characters out, then I can start to begin to write the script, because whatever the events, whatever happens in the particular character's lives, right, is like the arc. You can write the story. You need to know the characters first. You have to flush those characters out. You can't just write a script without knowing the characters and all the things that they're going to do during that story, because once you know all this stuff, you can then write the story. So where am I up to? Realization that violence and vengeance serves nothing and no one. You can say she's more advanced than Zariam. She knows where he currently is in the world because she's already gone through and experienced it firsthand. Zariam, on the other hand, is trying to play catch up. She tries her very level best to convince Zariam of this, but he doesn't listen to her until at the end he finally hits. He gets hit with the realization that she's right. Getting back to it, the tragedy event that follows is something similar to this. So this is kind of my idea, the vision for how her character, what she went through. This is her arc. This is her story of tragedy. She goes through life, bang, something happens, and then she evolves and learns from it and grows and becomes a better person or whatever. Or not. Follows something similar to this. This is what I'm currently thinking of at the moment. Cyan's father must have borrowed money off Braxis, as he was a single father trying to survive in tough conditions. He struggled to pay. He struggled to pay back Braxis after several attempts. Cyan's father several times pleaded, I'll pay you back, I'll pay you back. I just need a little extra time. And this went on for a bit. And Cyan was subjected to this. One day, so one final day came coming. Braxis's men and himself came coming. Braxis' men beat Cyan's father before. Even before that, they seen him, like they must have been looking through the window and they seen him coming. So, and then Cyan's father told the kids and the son to take his sister Cyan and hide at the back of the house, around behind a wooden fence or a mound or a large rock or something like that. They watch and look on in horror when she sees Cyan's father getting beaten. The father tells his sister to stay, wait and hide. She waits hesitantly, but wants to do something because that's just the normal human responsible nature of things. You want to help your family when things get tough or bad. Cyan's brother runs towards the house to help his father and is caught by the men. Cyan, a young girl of about 8, watches her father either get slaughtered, or I'm leaning more towards this one, or tossed into the house with his son, doors barred. They pour tar/oil all over the house, over the walls, on the roof, etc., etc., and then they set the house alive on fire. Cyan watches in horror as her father and brother are burned alive inside of her childhood home. The men stand back and watch and pointing and laughing to themselves. A young little girl scarred to no end. Cyan has a troubled teenage life. She gets into a lot of trouble with the law. And learning how to defend herself as she progressed through life, she met Zahram one night at a local tavern, and saw a man who was struggling. He kind of reminded her of her, and she wanted to try and help this man get back on his feet. It's like talking to a brick wall, though. She's patient with him despite him pissing her off for not listening. She goes to hell and back for him because she cares very deeply for him. She looks after him. She gets better. She gets better. She pulls her shit together, and because she worked out what works and what doesn't, etc. Now trying to tell / convince Zahram of what she's learnt along her journey. He won't have it. He needs to go through hell himself to finally figure out what she was on about. When the breakthrough finally arrives, fucking boom, it hits you like a sledgehammer. It's a moment worth recognizing and remembering. Cyan is exceptionally good with a bow and close quarter combat, like daggers. That's the vibe. The vibe I get for her clothing wardrobe is the following: leather browns, reds, or greens, or even greens. Brown leather style boots laced up, almost rogue-like in her style. Shoulder pads, battle skirt. Her hairstyle is a blonde style hair. Beads or even possible Viking style braids in some of her hair, especially at the front. Dagger in a shoe. corset style leather jerkin / breastplate / armor. E.g., an example, Lagatha from the hit TV show Vikings. So yeah, that's just kind of like I said, that's just I suppose you can call it like a rundown, a breakdown of a particular character that I have in mind for the Understander project, my medieval hit masterpiece. No, it's not a hit. My just sounded cool. Nah, it's my medieval epic. In my mind, it'll be a masterpiece, but yeah, that's just not to blow smoke or anything like that. It's my life's work. It's my end game project. It's what I'm put on the earth to do. So this film, like I said, is exceptionally important to me. It's really, it's my everything. So I'm, like I said, I'm super fucking protective of it, and I put so much love and effort and energy and work into all this stuff. And like I said, it's just such a, it's a unique, and it's a hard, challenging film to make, because it's like I said, I had to wait, and for a while I really wasn't ready, so I did other films to learn from, and I'm so glad I did now, to be honest. And I just, like I said, I've learned a lot, and it's constantly adapting and evolving. I just had a hard time trying to write the characters because it's not finished. It hasn't been fulfilled or written yet. My story hasn't really been written, but it has kind of now. I kind of have an idea. It's like, I know the structure, and I know how it's all going to kind of come to an end, and all that. So it's good. I think it'll be I honestly think it'll be probably the film that I'll be focusing on next after Snap Factory. I have another feature film that's basically ready to go. I'm fairly happy. I'm just going to wing that movie. I'm just going to go and shoot it. I'm going to shoot that while I'm working really hard now on the Understander project. So I'll be doing this behind the scenes, but I want to knock at least one more film out, just to refresh, just to tighten up my skills, things like that. There's a few new little things that I want to kind of learn, but I'm fairly happy with my direction, with where I'm heading with this particular movie and everything. So I can't self-fund this movie. The Understander. I'm not even attempting to self-fund this movie. I'll probably self-fund the event. I have a feeling it's not going to cost me a hell of a lot, not compared to what Snap Factory did. But I will be looking for funding, I think, for the Understander. I can't do it any other way. It's a big scale film. I need sets built and everything, so it's going to be a huge fucking project. And everything that basically I've done in my life has prepared me for this, with people and knowing people and just everything. What else can I share with you? Yeah, so now that I've flushed these, like I said, I've flushed these characters out. Now I know what her story arc. I know, like, kind of what's going to happen in her journey, her life. I can write this into the screenplay now. And the thing I love about it is when you're writing these characters, like, you can see the things that are kind of like Braxis's. It fits in with the story, but then you see more of his side of what he goes through, and you see his side of the story, and what advances him, and what he goes through, and the challenges and all that shit. But then it fits in with Cyan's character, with the shit that's gone on, and you see her side of the story and everything. And then Zarium's slots in there as well, and all that type of shit. So it's really cool. This is really going to help me to flush that story out. But like I said, it's got heavy themes of childhood trauma in medieval times. I'm very fascinated with what those people went through, how fucking tough they were, how hard they are, and the shit they've gone through. You know what I mean? And survived. I'm just really, I find that fascinating how much we can take as human beings, how much we can put up with, what we can go through and survive and become better human beings and stuff. I've been trying to figure out what my path or my calling or my, what do you call it, and I just think I think I've got to tell stories about this type of stuff. I don't know. It's either I just think it's the start of something new. So yeah, like I said, I'm super happy. I'm very proud of this film. What else? Yeah, look, I'll leave it at that, guys. We'll talk about some other stuff in another video, but yeah, I thought I'd just share that with you. It's just in the mind, show you in the mind of a creative artist, I guess. Just a moment in time, I guess, a glimpse of what filmmakers, what we do on a daily basis, what we go through, and shit. People don't realise, they don't see all this shit behind the scenes. It's like, oh, you just write the script and organise and shoot it and move on. They don't see all the prep and the priming and the story and the character development and fucking all that type of shit. You know, all the scheduling and finances and people think, oh, just make a film, whip it together, shoot it. Yeah, woo. It's a bit more than that, guys. So anyway, all right, guys. Look, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching. Until next news video, post, whatever you want to call it. I'm writer, producer, director Luke Lorna from Shilling Entertainment, and yeah, I'm signing off. All right, guys. Take care. Look after yourself, and God bless. Bye for now. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.